Star Wars. It's one of the most successful, most loved, and most hyped film franchises of all time. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Jedi, Stormtroopers. It seems as though these things have been part of our lives forever. Even if you've never seen one of the films, you know what Star Wars is. It's everywhere, across all generations, in a way that no other film series is. But why? How can a simple story about goodies versus baddies in space keep audiences hooked for nearly 40 years?
I mean, it's the ultimate story between good and evil. And you got a guy from Peckham in it.
I should be on the poster, right? It's got a guy from Peckham in it. Why does being in a Star Wars film have the power to change your life forever?
Like, I don't know, how could that ever get normal? I'm on a flipping poster.
It's a very surreal thing to care about something for as long as I have Star Wars, and then to get to be part of it.
What inspires people to live their lives as actual real-life Jedis?
May the Force be with you.
Put simply, what is the secret of Star Wars? Also, do I get to like play with a lightsaber sometime soon? It was written into my contract. It's pretty much the only reason I'm doing this. Lightsabers? Maybe later? Right, before we attempt to crack the secret of Star Wars, here's a brief bit of history. So far, there have been 6 films made in a really weird order, released over the last 38 years. So the first was Episode 4, A New Hope, released in 1977. Then was The Empire Strikes Back, released in 1980. And then Episode 6, which was Return of the Jedi in 1983. And we had to wait 16 years until we got the prequels. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was released in 1999. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, was in 2002. And in 2005, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And now, after another 10-year gap, December 17th will mark the release of Episode 7, The Force Awakens. The plot to The Force Awakens has been one of the most closely guarded secrets in the movie business. It's to avoid spoilers, but it's also because what happens in these films is such a key part of what makes Star Wars so special. The plot of A New Hope is so famous, it's burned into our brains. In fact, maybe the secret of Star Wars is simply it's just a great story.
It's just something that anyone around the world, you could look at any single one of the characters in Star Wars and relate to them.
I mean, it's Matilda on steroids. It's
a very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think the reason people connect with it so much is take away all of the space and all of the adventures and everything. It's just, you know, 2 people with a difficult relationship with their father.
Your powers a weak old man.
Who also don't know their siblings, and a guy who's like running away from things and you can't pin him down.
And it's really funny, it's choppy, it's fun.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Family and love and the struggle between good and evil. It's like themes, you know, in the news every day.
You almost made Star Wars sound like an episode of Jeremy Kyle there, just for a brief second.
No!
Dad, why do you want to take over the galaxy?
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
The DNA test results.
Yeah, okay, maybe Jeremy Kyle wasn't the best comparison, but it is a beautifully simple yet powerful story, and the man who came up with it is George Lucas.
What I was working to try to do was to write a modern fairy tale, and I had become intrigued with mythology and fairy tales as a form of psychological archaeology, where you can pull things down to find common threads that went through lots of different mythology, and that's ultimately why I became friends with Joe Campbell, because that's the research that he'd been doing.
George Lucas was trying to figure out the essence of why myths work, but the man who figured it out first was writer and historian Joseph Campbell.
That was when I realized, and nobody can tell me anything differently, that there's one mythology in the world, and it has inflected in the various cultures in terms of their historical and social circumstances. But it's one mythology. Joseph Campbell's book, A Hero with 1,000 Faces, took thousands of years of storytelling and mythology and boiled it down to one simple story, a hero's journey. Now, just a bit of a warning, this could be the biggest spoiler of all time because all of your favorite Hollywood films pretty much follow this exact same model. And now that I've told you, you'll look for it in every film you watch. The high concept of the hero's journey is that the hero leaves a somewhat comfortable, ordinary world, maybe with the help of a mentor.
sets out on a journey to a special world which is very different and dangerous. There the hero encounters some monsters or villains or enemies of some kind who put them through a life-changing experience of death and resurrection. Finally, the hero has to come home, return and give closure to the story by bringing back something from that special world to share with everyone else. Now tell me that sounds familiar.
Well, you said it, Chewie.
So George Lucas had discovered all the common ingredients for a timeless story. Now to make it a modern myth, all he had to do was invent a world in space, create the characters and write down the dialogue.
Then I started reading, and it seemed to me the dialogue was pretty ropey. But I had to go on turning the page.
No, I did say you can type this, George, but you can't say it. I asked him, please, to try and move his mouth while he was typing.
Boring conversation anyway.
The dialogue may not have been perfect, but the characters were there, and Lucas had found the actors to bring these characters to life. The goodies, the baddies, and even a comic robot duo to talk the audience through the plot.
They're going to execute Master Luke, and if we're not careful, us too. I wish I had your confidence.
While you had some similar characters between the two trilogies, you had 3PO and R2-D2, they appear in both. The first trilogy, the original trilogy, was rompier and more fun. It was a simple space opera, good versus evil, whereas the prequel trilogy had to deal with trade negotiation and senatorial disputes and politics and lots of other complicated stuff. It also had to feed into that original trilogy.
I pray you will bring sanity and compassion back to the Senate.
You had to serve this master of where we were going to get to and also have its own story. Now, what J.J. Abrams has with The Force Awakens is he has to respectfully refer back to the previous 6 films and move the story forward.
Now, we don't know what's going to happen next in the story, but this is what John Boyega and Daisy Ridley can tell us about their characters.
I was raised to do one thing.
Finn is a very unique character.
But I've got nothing to fight for.
We see him in the rebel outfit, then we see him as a stormtrooper. There's obviously some sort of collision there in terms of character, in terms of choice.
Who are you? Rey begins alone on the desert planet Jakku.
I'm no one.
And she unwittingly is kind of thrown into this adventure with Finn. She gets to kick some butt with her staff. She gets to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. Finn has a very unique relationship with Han Solo.
All of it.
One time I'm the sidekick, one time he's the sidekick. It's like a really great duo.
The dark side.
She meets these people and she starts relationships she's never had before.
A Jedi.
And the movie is kind of a celebration of all that, of everything that's come before in Star Wars and everything going forward.
They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you. Just let it in.
Obviously, the storyline is really super important. Obviously. But not quite as important as lightsabers. Do I finally get to play with a lightsaber now? Could someone please chuck me a lightsaber? Yes! So Jordan, first off, thank you very much for inviting me to your lightsaber school.
My pleasure.
First question I have to ask though, why?
Why? Well, the shortest answer is why not? The lightsaber is such an iconic weapon. There's so many enthusiast groups out there that it just seemed like a really natural progression of it, to make it a sport, to make it something that could be international and that could be trained and could be practiced anywhere. Kendo is based on the old Japanese styles where it was a single sharp edge to a blade. Well, a lightsaber would theoretically have an entire cutting surface. They have the sound, they light up.
It's the coolest bit.
They make the clash noises,
wow.
Makes the motion noises, everything.
So Jordan, look, I've seen every Star Wars film. I've had some personal training from you. I feel like I have a little bit of the Force in me. There'll be people watching this who'll go, that is nonsense. So I want to prove it for them. Okay. I'm going to blindfold myself, right? and all you're gonna try and do is hit me on the head with your lightsaber.
Why don't we give you a lightsaber and see if you can defend the strike?
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, Jordan, when you're ready.
Okay, you ready?
Don't hit me too hard. I'm doing it!
One more. There we go. I think that proves that the Force is strong in you.
I mean, not quite Jedi yet. Maybe Padawan?
Yeah, on your way. Everybody's journey starts somewhere.
Everything about Star Wars is huge. The size and detail of its universe, the epic special effects, the real-life built sets, and arguably one of the best technical crews in the business. Could the secret of Star Wars be its sheer scale?
The Force Awakens was 100 orders of magnitude more challenging, more enormous, and an unlimited number of orders of magnitude more stressful than anything I've worked on prior. I think everyone felt that going in. The crew was spectacular, and the cast better than anyone could have imagined. And I think looking at the work and seeing how much everyone cared and how wonderfully they did, that to me is the thing that really kind of relieves the pressure and that sense of expectation. So I'm just grateful to everyone who came to work every day.
I was lucky enough to be given a huge set out in Abu Dhabi, where I spent 5 months with a UK and local construction crew building virtually a whole planet. One day, you just had a 360-degree horizon line. And before you know it, weeks later, you've got a skeleton of a set. And then the next week, then you've got all the cladding for that. And then everything starts getting painted. I remember the designer trying to introduce me to JJ and saying, this is the art director responsible for this set. And he was almost speechless. I mean, and I was trembling just from kind of getting to meet him, and he was completely speechless. Thank you so much. This is amazing. So much more than I ever expected it to be.
With high expectations from the fans and a heritage of incredible production values, there must be a constant pressure for Star Wars to deliver.
I mean, the intensity is almost part of the fun.
Mm-hmm.
They have a brilliant first AD. Before every take would really rally the troops.
How incredible is that?
Beaky would say, all right, stand up straight. Remember, you're in Star Wars. This is a privilege, You get everybody, and he would be like, intensity, Remember what you're doing here. Remember what you're a part of.
You don't get to build an X-Wing every day or a Millennium Falcon. Every day I come to work smiling.
Energy and action.
JJ's a very, very good director, both of action and of actors. And so, and the fact they built the sets, which has been harped on about a lot. As an actor, it's phenomenal to be on real sets.
Hi, it's J.J. Abrams here on the set of Star Wars Episode VII in lovely Abu Dhabi.
It was in Abu Dhabi, and it was like the desert was the set, so it felt big. There were many people obviously dressed as creatures, and there were speeders, and there was a set, so it was like a really big, obviously, thing to take in. But that kind of helped as well, because it was literally like stepping right into the world that JJ wants to create.
The imagery and the scale extends way beyond the boundaries of the films. For kids growing up nowadays, it's hard not to bump into Star Wars. People of all generations feel as if they've just grown up with it.
For me, I was exposed to the merchandise first because I was a 90s baby. I watched the prequels and I didn't know about the story as a kid. All I saw was just like these laser things they were fighting with, Yoda doing gymnastics and all this other stuff. It's not until I was older and I started getting into the extended universe in the comic books and the video games.
What will you have?
That's when I watched the originals.
Star Wars video games have a huge hand in keeping the interest going.
Prevent the walkers from reaching the space.
It's a way of staying within the Star Wars world and being in this place that you love, whilst you're waiting for them to hurry up and finish the next film.
The spaceships, the lightsaber battles, the Jedi mind tricks. People seem fascinated with these ideas that feel real but lie just outside the realms of possibility.
It's probably that combination that works so well. because within it, it's like a totally realistic story, and then you have the fantastical elements.
This party's over. You walk on set, and this guy comes over, and he has a big briefcase that he opens up, and it's full of lightsabers, and he goes, "Okay, pick one." That one.
Lightsabers are really cool.
Yeah.
Jedi mind tricks are really cool, but also terrifying.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
What do you reckon it is? Why are people fascinated with Jedi mind tricks?
Because that's like the ultimate thing to some people, is like to control other people and have them do your bidding.
I wanted to find a little bit more about Jedi mind tricks, so I paid a visit to the star of BBC Three's Killer Magic and mind magician, Chris Cox.
Okay, let me try something which is the closest I think a human can get to being a Jedi.
Right, okay.
Okay, so first things first, clear your mind. That was quick, well done. Hey! Okay, I want you to imagine going to a cinema.
Right, do you want to close my eyes for this?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You trust me. Yeah. Good. Popcorn counter.
Right.
You pick up one flavour. What flavour are you picking up?
Sweet.
Sweet popcorn, okay. Go through all the screens. There's 14 screens available to you. You go into screen number 5. Just get a Star Wars movie in your head, the one you're going to watch, and I'm going to...
Yeah.
What film are you thinking of?
Empire Strikes Back.
Good, Empire Strikes Back. Great. Let's keep going, keep going.
But that's the best one, though. That's what most people would say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, so look next to you. I'm the person sat next to you, but it's not me. It's a famous person, a celebrity.
Yeah.
Just look back at the screen, and on the screen, see your favourite character. And then look back at the celebrity, and that celebrity's changed into your character. Straight away, yeah, I can use the Force really easily there and see it's a woman. That character you're thinking of is Princess Leia.
Oh my God, yes,
Good.
it was.
Dressed in gold bikini next to you?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Anyone could have worked that one out. But the celebrity it was before, I'm going to use the Force. Put your hands out like this, and imagine typing on a keyboard.
Okay.
And just type the letter D for me now. So
Okay.
D for Dev. Good. Okay, now think about typing the name of this person.
Yeah.
Is that an A at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Okay, put your hands down and see this person next to you. And was it Alan Carr?
Yes, it was Alan Carr dressed as Princess Leia.
Wow, what a mental image.
That was pretty impressive, Chris.
Thanks.
You can get out of my brain now.
Thanks, it's disgusting in there.
Yeah. Shut the door behind you.
Yeah. Actually, talking of doors, you should probably go.
Ah, okay. Well, thanks, Chris. I'll see you soon.
Cheers, hang on, let me get that for you.
Oh, what a show off. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Whether it's the mystical idea of the Force or the sense of community amongst the actors, it's clear it all means a lot to the fans, cast and crew.
He signed his action figure.
It's a unique spirit, and maybe that's the secret of Star Wars.
My whole life has led to this moment. I'm in heaven.
We saw these really cool clips of yourself and John watching the trailer for the new Star Wars. Both of you had reactions.
Oh yeah, I was crying my eyes out.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see myself in the film. I'm going to watch it various times.
I just thought, you look at it and think all this work that people have put in, all the like dreams and the hopes and people's like careers being made because they were able to work on something either they loved or that they knew was going to be iconic continuing on.
I'm looking at myself as action figures. I'm looking at the trailers multiple times. Sometimes I watch it randomly just to start the day before a workout. This is an insane experience, and I'm so happy.
It just felt really special. I don't know. And I cry when things are like that. I can literally cry right now. No.
It would be really good for the documentary.
Hold on.
I can't hold off forever. Now what?
This is some rescue. You came in here, didn't you have a plan for getting out?
Eat the brains, sweetheart.
Can you tell us what it's like working with Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill? Like, where they very much show up on set, shoot their bit, then straight back in their private security trailer.
I mean, that leads on to one of the most exciting things for me is the interaction between the new generation and the old generation. It was great to kind of learn from the moments of silence when Harrison was just filming and getting into character and sharing ideas. That's when I took a lot of knowledge, mostly. I learned a lot from him.
Do you get to call him Harrison, or is it still Mr. Ford?
I call him Harrison. I remember looking at my old phone from last year and seeing a text that I wrote to him because we were supposed to be going out. And the text just goes, "Where you at, mate?" And Harrison just goes, "Downstairs, kid."
Chewie, we're home.
Harrison Ford, we're on the Falcon, first day of filming on there. And normally I like to take the props off of the actors before they get released to their trailers or if they go into the toilet. About 3 times as he's walked off, I've said, "Oh, Harrison, sir, can I take your blaster off here?" There you go. And then finally he said, "Why do you want to keep taking my blaster off me? I'm not going to shoot anybody, kid." And then gave me a little smile and walked off. And I was just like, "You can keep your blaster."
I think JJ is just a wonderful person because he makes everyone feel special. Like, everyone on set felt like it was really great, and everyone said it was the best job they've ever done.
I kept looking for ways and places to make something work either better or stronger or funnier, more shocking, more exciting. It was always a question of serving the story and the characters, and working with Lawrence Kasdan was, for me, the sort of ultimate treat in developing the story, having, written some of the greatest lines from Star Wars ever, and to work with him in figuring out what had happened to the world, and also the most fun part for us, which was who the new characters were. It was really an unbelievable thrill, and I feel just lucky to have been able to work with these people.
Could this special Star Wars spirit be a blurring of the lines between the world of the film and real life? Could it be the Force?
The Force? The Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together.
The Force is a real thing. It is a real thing. The Force is energy. The Force is responsibility. The Force is a spirit. You can use it for either the dark side or the light side. So it's really and truly its choice, right?
I mean, the Force is all around, isn't there? I believe there's something greater than ourselves, so sure.
Now, in the Star Wars realm, I just believe the Force is for throwing people around. Just throwing. I don't care about all that moral stuff when it comes to the Star Wars universe, but for the real world, it's definitely, it's within the power of choice.
I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi.
There are many people who do believe the Force is real and take that belief to the next level by living their lives as a real-life Jedi. I wanted to meet one of them. When you say you're a Jedi, in my mind, I'm picturing you doing backflips, waving around the lightsaber, but it's a little bit different to that.
I can't do any backflips. I don't own a lightsaber. The Jediism which we teach at our church has a strong focus on philosophy, spirituality. We believe that despite us all being individuals, we're still all connected through the Force.
You must feel the Force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere.
We notice the differences between people, but actually we're joined a lot more by our similarities.
Through the Force, things you will see, other places, the future, the past, old friends long gone.
George Lucas took a lot of old ideas and he presented them in a new light for a modern audience. Jedi try to do what George Lucas did. We don't take what George Lucas produced, but we draw on the same sources which he did.
What will happen to me now?
Council have granted me permission to train you. You will be a Jedi. I promise.
Here we are. This is my robe. I don't wear it around. Some people might, but you're under no obligation. I do sometimes wear it at ceremonies. People think of Jedi and they think of the robe, and it helps identify it, and it's kind of a bit of fun.
I definitely have my preconceptions before today. Mainly that you might be crazy, but you are a very smart, intelligent, thoughtful young man. So what's a proper Jedi way to end this meeting?
At our temple during ceremonies, the person leading it might say, "May the Force be with you," and then those in attendance could reply, "And also with you." So you're welcome to do that now if you wish.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so may the Force be with you.
And also with you.
Thank you.
And you can take your robe as well.
Thank you.
I steal it. So what is the secret of Star Wars? During this documentary, we've identified 3 things. I reckon I've boiled it down to 3 S's. I've got the story, classic good versus evil, the scale, obviously set design, and spirit as well. The people how they relate to the Force and the people who are involved in the project, I feel about it. Do you reckon that's pretty accurate?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you reckon the secret of Star Wars is?
If there is one secret, it's the heart of the characters, the heart of the story.
Star Wars is continuous, like the real world. It causes dialogue, because we can talk about Empire Strikes Back for hours, and that kind of like ignites some sort of like comfort in our brains and makes us feel passionate.
I don't think you could put a pin on it. It's like why people fall in love. It's just something. And just many millions of people fell in love with a film. Something there.
There was a sort of sweetness and a kindness and an optimism that I think, you know, for me, pervades Star Wars. And it's a story and a saga that has quite a bit of darkness and intensity and cynicism and brutality. But at the core of Star Wars, if there's a secret, it's the heart of it and that spirituality. So I think that you're really hitting on it.
A whole new generation is about to get caught up in a world of lightsabers, stormtroopers, and Jedi. Thing is, even when the films went away for a few years, Star Wars didn't go anywhere. It's achieved something remarkable, cultural, permanent. I think it's going to be a part of our lives forever.
The Force will be with you, always.